Most people think the harvest comes the moment you sow. You prayed, you obeyed, you planted the seed, and then nothing. Weeks pass, months. You start asking questions. Did I do something wrong? Did God forget me? Here's what most believers miss. Jesus never taught that the harvest comes instantly. He taught 3 parables about it, back to back, and together they reveal a timeline most Christians have never connected. Matthew 13. Jesus is sitting by the sea, a crowd so large he has to teach from a boat. The first parable he gives is the one you know, the sower. 4 soils, 1 seed. Only one soil produces a harvest. Matthew 13:8 says, Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. The promise is real, 100-fold return, 30-fold at minimum. But notice what Jesus doesn't say. He doesn't say when. He doesn't say how fast. He just says it happens. And then he moves to the next parable. That's the question you've been asking. When? You stayed faithful. You've sown into prayers that haven't been answered, into a calling that still looks like nothing, into relationships that haven't healed. And the silence is deafening. Most people stop here. They assume the harvest failed. They walk away from the field. But Jesus had more to say. Right after the sower, he told 2 more parables, and together they answered the when question directly. Matthew 13:24-30. The parable of the weeds. A man sows good seed in his field, but at night an enemy comes and sows weeds among the wheat. The servants panic. Should we pull the weeds? Listen to the master's answer. Matthew 13:29-30. No, lest in gathering the weeds you root up the wheat along with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. Read that again. Let both grow together until the harvest. Jesus is telling you something most sermons skip. The counterfeit grows alongside the genuine. The disappointment sits right next to the promise. The attack lands in the same field as the blessing. And you don't get to pull them apart yet. The separation happens at the harvest. And when is the harvest? Jesus tells us himself. Matthew 13:39. The harvest is the end of the age. Not next week, not when you feel ready. The end of the age. That reframes everything. But there's a third parable, one most people completely overlook. Mark 4:26-29. A man scatters seed on the ground. Then he sleeps. Then he rises, day after day after day. And the seed sprouts and grows. He knows not how. The earth produces by itself. This is the part that should change how you pray. The farmer has no idea how the seed grows. He can't explain it. He can't speed it up. He can't force it. He just trusts the ground. That's where you are right now. The seed is in the ground. You can't see it moving. You can't feel it working. But the process is already underway. Let me put all 3 together. Parable 1, the sower. Only one soil bears fruit. The promise is real, but it requires good ground. Your heart determines your harvest. Parable 2, The weeds. The enemy plants counterfeits. You can't remove them early. The separation comes at the harvest, and the harvest is the end of the age. Parable 3. The growing seed. The growth happens whether you understand it or not. Your job isn't to know how. Your job is to keep showing up. 3 things for you right now. 1. Stop measuring your harvest by today. Jesus measures harvest in ages, not days. 2. Stop trying to pull up every weed. Some of what you're wrestling with right now is supposed to grow alongside the promise until the end. 3. Keep sowing. The seed is working whether you feel it or not. Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap, if we do not give up. Due season, not your season, not instant, but guaranteed. The harvest is coming, not because you're perfect, not because you figured it out, but because Jesus promised it, and his promises don't fail. If this helped you see what Jesus actually taught about the harvest, drop a comment. Which of these 3 parables hit you the hardest? I read every one. Time is telling.